Let's pray. Our eternal King of Kings, we thank you, we glorify your name. Lord, we thank you for your mercy, thank you for your kindness, thank you for your protection upon our lives. Thank you for yet another day that you have given unto us, and not just another day, but today is the first day of this month and the last month of this year, 2025. And I will thank you for all the goodness, for your mercy, for your grace upon our life. From the beginning of this year, 1st of January 2025, today is 1st of December 2025. You have led us this far, despite the challenges, the struggle, and everything going on in this country. Father, you have been so faithful to us. We say your name be highly exalted. We thank you for our brethren, for our families, and for our friends, and for every other person close to us. Father, we say your name be glorified. Father, King of Kings, we thank you for bringing us in every single day to gather here and to also acknowledge ourselves in your word. Father, we pray that our teacher this evening will commit into your mindset and that you feel your knowledge, your wisdom, that what is going to lead to us this is going to be inspired to think that you are going to use to be perfect in our life, both in your society, in your house, and personally to us too. But I also commit those who are going on the way, coming, pray that you can now yourself to come and join us. And even those that are having the mind to be able to watch our religion and God in order, you could make a fire the way that we speak through, and may you take away any form of challenges so that once I put it on, you'll find it joy to be your presence. Father, King of Kings, we pray, committing all of us here to your meeting, that our mind be here, and we pray attentive to what we are going to receive this evening, so that at the end, the blessings will be poured unto us for your prayer on this night, not just as we pray.
For this topic will be developing a career in God's mission, under the theme of my career, job, and financial prosperity. I would like to call on Brother Danny Obentey to enlighten us on that.
Good evening, brother. Well, I don't think I have a career in God's ministry, but you can say we have a calling. It's been some rearrangement in our plans for the class today. Given the minister's very busy schedule, he was unable to properly prepare to give us this class today, so we will be moving into next year, so that the first and second week of January. But today gives us an opportunity to give a yearly review, more of an interactive session of how we have fared, of the things we have learned so far. We have been doing this series for long, for a while. Right? I've been doing this series for a while, and I'm very sure we will have one or two things, one or seven things that we want to say, questions that were not properly clarified, things that we learned that excited us the most, some things that we have started implementing in our lives, and so on and so forth. Okay. I want like 52 hands to be raised over to answer these questions. What is our thing for the past 9 months? What is our thing? So say what has been happening for the past 9 months.
You stand up, raise up your eye, and close your hand.
I took career
Choices. There are like 5 words in that thing. Okay, sit down. I can't even give you a pat on the back because it's been 9 months. Anybody else? Mr. Tina. Okay, sit down. Well, you're correct. Thank you. I didn't like that I didn't say it's enough confidence. So, but Shibweze usually says that anytime he comes to take a class in Bible class, he usually asks what the last topic was, and I tried doing that. And when I feel bad when so many people cannot answer, and it kind of sends a message that probably if the last teacher didn't listen to all what I'm going to say, nobody's probably going to care. So why bother, right? And it's not very encouraging that even the thing that we have been talking about for the past, we say it every time we meet your mom. We still struggle to, and every time we ask, we still struggle to remember it. It's like 5 words: my career, job, and financial prosperity. It's your own. So, well, we are ending the year. We are doing a review. One of the things we should also try to improve on, that we should. I think that comes mainly from the fact that we don't take notes. We hardly take notes when we are during classes. All of us fully understand that our brains don't have the capacity to hold so many things, no matter how impressive the brain is. So we should learn to take notes this coming year, the things we learn, so that we can actually implement it. Okay, that being said, I'm going to go to the first session. First thing we are going to do is to just go around, and as many people as want to, and also the ones that will call, should share with us what they have learned or something that they have taken from this series that we have been doing on for a very long time. So, who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Sister Precious. Ferdinand, please, you are. Good evening.
I want to split the last lesson that was taught, which topic was faith and finance. Just because we feel
Your economic hardship. Yeah.
that teacher never see that we should first of all, no matter how challenges we may face, that we should continue to focus on that. God will see us through everything.
Okay. Um, what did you learn from that? What's something you want to take home from that? Like from blessing last week?
Having faith in God.
Having faith in God. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. For Victor Friday, let's give it to him.
Alright, so good evening, Joe.
Good evening.
So, a lot has been taught during this series of career job, experience. One thing that I really took home from one of the lessons that I've been implementing in my life and helping me so far is the one that talked about managing your time on social media. So, to start with, I wasn't a person that I'm not really a person because I'm not that typical guy among the sports. There's another thing that I do that when I listen to a lesson that I thought that people can do minimize further is particular period of time that I spend watching YouTube, but I'm not YouTube person. I'm not really very much on YouTube. I watch more educative stuff on YouTube rather than just watching the normal thing that I watch. So that and saving as well, saving for rainy period like rainy season. So I learned how to always try to as much as possible keep something for what I get. So I do actually pay something after this class. So those are two key things that I've taken so far. There are lots that I've learned.
Fantastic.
Cities.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. These are the kind of things we want to hear because we we have learned so much. Like we have learned so much. And if there's only one or two things you take and implement in your life over the course of months and years, you see significant changes in how you live your life. But I'll let go.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This topic is about special prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Danger of death, how to avoid it.
Yeah.
And then you mention how, as youth, figure out how to manage that. We tend to believe that money comes, of course, money is important. But the person of based on his own experience. About your youth, in fact, the first time you can save for, and if I was able to do it, let us do that. That was need to do, let's do that. I said, for spacing our money for things that are not relevant, let's get to revert those funds to things that are actually relevant. And aside from that, we must understand that no matter how low your income might be, you can still save. And I actually, in fact, I get that. As in, so initially, I always thought, oh, money was small. How do I try to save from this little income? But you don't understand. And not how little your salary can still save. And ever since then, I've been trying to work with our to be honest, the biggest mistake we make is don't manage our finances well, and we've been putting ourselves in that actually very, very well. So it's not making sense busy, but after that topic, I'll be able to manage a lot of things, and I think at least
That's good. We thank God for that. Another thing you should also learn, and one mistake a lot of us make that I also made a lot was we tend to save the last money. After we are done spending, I want to say what's left. And most times there's nothing left. This is Nigeria. There's most likely going to be nothing left. So it's better to say out of this 50K, I'll say 500 and save that 500 first, then deal with the others when okay. So saving first gives trains your mind to want to save more. Yeah, I know somebody who saves half of his income. I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. Half. He doesn't have a job now. The person doesn't have a job now. Facing one major thing that is destabilize families, things that destabilize men, and it's not shaking. Like he doesn't have a job, but it's not shaking. So it's one of the habits that I've seen him do so many times that also any of us can implement. Although maybe not now, but for now, you have to start saving it small, no matter how, even if it's 1K per month. Save it because it is from there you will now be to start saving up to half of your salary if you didn't start earlier. So there is so much that we have learned. Thank you all so much for sharing. We are going to look at some of the groups of things that we've talked about. First off, we'll be starting with career and purpose, career plus purpose. We talked about some of the topics we looked at there was discovering God's purpose for our lives, chasing different career paths. We talked about skill development, entrepreneurship, and many other things, starting businesses. Right? So this question is to anybody who cares to answer. What did the teachings this year show you about choosing a career path that honors God and builds your future? What are the things that you have learned that is going to guide you in choosing a career path? Because so many of us here are still, we are still very young. Some of us have not fully decided on the career that we want to pursue. We are still discovering things. So in that discovery, in all the learnings we've done so far, is there something you have learned that is going to help you decide whether you're shifting your career or what you are changing in your present career or something that you're improving that is going to help you have a better future and a God-centered career? Anybody? The question to Rebels. Okay. What is one career change or one career thing you have learned? Something about your career you have learned throughout the course of this. Okay? Give profit, then precious. Good evening.
One thing I learned about career is not everything. It's not something you decide once you do it.
That's why it is job and so you have to build there are lots of progress of where as a career. So what I learned about don't just set a career because much of the process. It's still long time.
Okay, that's a good one. I think I read something somewhere that said many young people spend more. Yeah, there are three things you're going to spend more things time in your life doing: your career, your relationships, and there was one other thing, but I can't remember. And family, I think so. So those are the three things that you're going to spend most of your time doing in your whole life. So those spend like a quarter of their lives in their job. But we don't take as much time to think about what we want to do. Right? This is something you spend your whole life doing, but you don't spend time thinking about what you will do, how you will do it, and how you elevate it. So these lessons that we have been talking about help us draw our minds to it and also how to do that. Separate.
Okay, my name is Maria Ezobe.
Okay.
Accounts as career. I've learned that to be able to plan for things, not just go like maybe it's for the salary and start using it to help you to do your projects and plan for everything, account for it.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Um, we have talked a lot about money, saving, budgeting, and a whole lot of other things, taxes and business. So I know some of us have touched it, but if you are also here, is there a financial principle that you have started implementing in your life that you didn't used to before the series of classes that you've taken? One financial principle that you learned. Budgeting. Thank you. Budgeting. You started doing it like already. That's good. Savings. Good. Anybody else? Could you give us an insight to how you plan your budget? What comes first?
And budgets, okay, I think the first thing that's on is information, then followed by saving, like I said, the monthly basis and the savings and the other thing, at least for that first months. And what based on myself, other things.
Okay, good. Emmanuel, savings. Maybe like just give us an idea. How many percent do you save? What thought process goes into your savings?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I save almost let's say it's and and the good part of it, I'm getting 2% on the savings.
Interest. That's good. Yeah. That's fantastic. So that's a good habit to start building now. So how are you able to get? He said you save 60% of his income. How are you able to get 2% interest daily? Yeah, yes.
Okay, how you get into saying one partner is like the out the
What app is that?
figures.
Figures. Okay.
Or you know that they want to start.
Yeah. Okay. So thank God you are not about to die. God will not let you die. So this is an excellent one, a very good habit that we should also learn from. He has also given another insight where you save and you are paid on the money you keep in. But our son did justice when he was talking to us about debt that the bank doesn't really care about you. Those interest, there's nothing you are saying on top of the money. It's just there, doing nothing. So at least with this, you are saving and you're also getting a bit of money back in interest what you are saving. So that's a good one. If you want, you can check the app out, Piggyvest, use it to give your funds. Any other person? Financial decision you've made so far? Ah, I think one of the biggest shocker was the day Brother Chibueze came and asked us if you were given $1 billion, what would you do with it? Brother Chibueze, Brother Christopher, yeah. What would you do with $1 billion? You want to answer? Okay, okay, financial. Okay. Um, go ahead.
Anyways, so before now, before this thing started, I have always had this one account I all my money is in one account. With that account is empty. But since it started, I've been able to have separate accounts. This account is back home. So if the main thing is if my expenditure account is running low, I will know that okay, check yourself. This is what is remaining in this account. How are you spending? What are you spending? So I have been able to create separate accounts where I back myself up, separate account for the major savings, separate account for my expenditures. Now that's something I've learned as the series started.
Okay, that's actually a very good point. Some people are very good at managing money. I hail my sisters for that. They can have one account and 100 million with their me and nothing. A lot of women are good at doing that. But if you see me, see that OP, just leave it for quick spending. I cannot keep big money inside. So there are other accounts I use for savings, there are investment accounts, there are accounts for quick spending, and it's different than the crypto accounts and the rest of that. So it's very important to diversify your phone. Usually when I'm broke on one account, I think this is the end. And I remember, okay, I'm not dead yet. That's good. So it does help a lot. Another thing also then I think one of my sisters experienced recently. Um, some of us keep praying for $1 billion. So one of the things that came to my way, I want God to bless us more. If $1 billion enter your account now, will your bank still work? Will your app still work? If I let you 1 million naira, say 5 million naira, like will your app still work? Some of us are still operating. Some of us are still operating on accounts that don't carry that much, don't have a transaction limit of a certain level. So as you are praying for God to increase your bank, you also increase the space that to come and take. So there's that. Okay, something I was also going to say. You should as well have a principle of how you manage funds when they come in, especially for salary earners. You have a principle of how you manage funds. If you have a working principle of how you manage funds, when you get $1 billion, that principle will also apply. For example, for somebody like Brother Emmanuel say he saves 60%. He knows that once that $1 billion comes, 60% goes to savings, 30% goes to this, 10% goes to God, 5% goes here, and then like that. So no matter the amount of money you get, that same principle will apply. Whether it's $1 billion, $100 million, 1,000 naira, however you want to do it, it still applies. So the important thing, you should have a pattern, a principle. For me, it's 50-30-10. Right? 50 for savings, 30 for general expenses. So 50-30-20 and 20 for investments. So when you apply that, it's principle for all the funds that you have. It helps you manage it no matter what comes. Okay, let's move on from finance to work ethic and integrity. We talked about that a lot. We talked about hard work, handling difficult bosses, integrity in the workplace, honesty, and several other things. So, is there something you are doing differently? Let's say how you interact with difficult employees, difficult co-workers. Right? Is there something that has changed in your life during the course of this lesson, during the course of learning all of this? Anybody? Okay.
Good evening, brethren.
Good evening.
Okay, so during the course of Yeah, I don't think I have a career, I have a job. So,
Okay.
but during the course of all the relationship and everything, I've learned patience, and learning how to control my emotions, like serious patience.
Serious patience. It's also very important, especially when you're dealing with certain coworkers. You have difficult, they are everywhere, right? You really can't get past them. And if you allow them to dictate how you feel, you're going to spend 9 hours every day. How many hours do you spend in the office? A whole lot of hours every day feeling bitter and terrible. Then you come back home to either pour the anger on other people or feel bitter yourself. You'll not sleep well. So it's important to have a lot of patience and have a lot of basically what Brother Tinubu said yesterday. Have lower expectations. Right? The expectations is a contract you wrote and drafted, but you don't understand it. Nobody else knows that. When they're sitting beside you, they should not be chewing loudly. But this will be every other place. So that doesn't mean you don't have expectations of people, but at least you know that the contract, the expectations you have, this person doesn't know. So you treat it as if the person doesn't know, and you do more of like a education. Same way you want somebody to sign a contract with. You do a lot of cajoling and then convince them how this is a mutually beneficial contract, and then before they get to sign. So it's important you should also have a lot of patience when dealing with people, apply a lot of wisdom, and also uh, have lower expectations. But later.
I've actually learned to listen more and talk less. But most of the time, when you tend to speak more, your client is noticing everything you are saying, and they use it against you at the end of the day. But when you listen more and you talk less, you use their word against them. And it's actually helping because they will actually tell you exactly what they need. When you give them listening air. So when you want to like don't try to make them see the reason why it's just you they must die for. If, I don't know whether I'm getting what I'm saying, but I'll try to clarify it in this sense. Someone to buy stuff from you, and you know what you're selling is actually is quality. Of course, you need to ask them, okay, what do you want? What do you want to use? What do you need it for? Let them speak. So when they speak, then you give them a recommendation, you recommend for them. So when you recommend them, they might even tell you that's not what I want, but let them know that okay, based on what you requested, based on your specification, this is what I can actually I can what is language I can recommend for you. So it actually helped me in my business, especially when I tend to listen more and talk less. You know, I want to hear what they want, so I want to hear especially what they need, not me trying to convince them to get exactly that same product. No, I don't do that. I might even tell you, can go to that person. At the end of the day, they still come back to you, but you are being truthful and you give them open mind that okay, it's not a must to buy from me. You can buy from other people, but this you can always come back to me and all. So you can in fact let them know you can check other places. Give them open mind. Don't
Yeah.
don't be static that they must buy from you. Because you have people that are they are reading your mind. They try to read you. In fact, I met different categories of people.
Thank
I
you.
chat with them every day. A lot of people. So just have to listen more and talk less.
Okay. Thank you very much, Oliver. Let me play a bit of words to that because as a business person, if you interact with a lot of clients, you know that you shouldn't be talking so much. Sometimes you can talk so much that you convince the client not to buy from you. Like they're already halfway in, but your talk now push them out. Right? So you should listen more than speak. Because when you do listen, they tell you exactly what they want. You can give them exactly what they need. So also don't tell your client to go and check as well. It's not good. So it's good that you don't let them feel like you are trapping them. Alright? But don't say go and check another place. You understand? Okay. Uh Precious.
Okay, I just want to say something based on this work. attitude and stubbornness. Okay, I think before the way my work is, I tend to feel relaxed when I'm at home. I don't have difficult boss or difficult colleague. So most times I will like, well, let me just lie down and later I will do this
Do
thing.
the work.
Most times I will like, precious, stand up. If na your work, how will you do? So I think there was one teacher that taught something like that. So that's really helped me. Most times I will just stand up to come Ikeja and just that early morning coming to Ikeja and doing work and go back. I was like, let me shall do.
Yeah.
Most time if I'm the one, if I'm the boss, I will like my staff to do the same thing. And at the end of the month, I will still collect salary. So let me just do this.
Yeah, speaking of integrity in the workplace, that's very good. A lot of us, when we work from home, given the new work from home policies that we have, we tend to take advantage of it and then do less work. But it's important that you understand that they should put effort in everything you do. The book of Proverbs tells us that do everything that you, whatever you find your hands to do, do it as unto the Lord. Right? Do it as if you're doing it for God. And once you apply that in every area of your life, you will see significant changes and significant improvements. Also, talking to business owners in ethics, you should also learn to be honest when dealing with clients. Be honest when dealing with clients. I've seen a lot of people who do business and because they talk too much, they end up saying, they end up lying. Sometimes they didn't even know that they have lied because they are trying to convince the customer they say the thing that is not true and eventually just for the intention of getting the client and eventually lose somebody in the long run. Do you have something? Okay. We will move on to the next final segment before we go through other discussions. Faith, evangelism, and giving. Right? Faith, evangelism, and giving. We've talked a lot about using social media as a form of evangelism, how to use your career to glorify God, and several other topics like that. So, have you been able to identify how you can serve God in your present career, job, or business? And if you have, how do you think you can glorify God more in what you are currently doing? Anybody? So, how have you discovered how can you glorify God more in your business, your job, or your career? What can you do to glorify God more?
So one way I can use to clarify God more in my job at the moment, because I won't call it a career yet. So is to like be as Christ-like as possible, when in terms of integrity, in terms of how honest you are with people you interact with, and how you just normally portray yourself as a person. So when people are being being manipulative, trying to get the most out of an opportunity. You just have to be someone that is the honest one in the midst of it. So when you are portraying Christ-like behavior, I believe from there you are also evangelizing in that manner, because people would want to like look at you and take a look at that. Why is it like this? Maybe once they get to know you and then talk about why you are behaving that way, why your behavior is of that manner. So that's one way I think I can glorify God more in and evangelize in my job.
Very, very good. We do say that you might be the only Bible some people will ever read. Some people are never going to pick up the Bible. You are the one they will continue reading, and the one they say, okay, see the way this person behaves. They use you as a standard of how things should be done. The Bible is the standard, but they might never read it. So you give them an avenue, a glimpse of what the Bible says through your lifestyle. And when you do that, people tend to listen to you more. People tend to hear what you say. I personally have been able to build a large contact of people, Christians, Muslims, all over due to my business. And usually I post certain things and then I get conversations going. That's one way I've also seen. There was one time I posted, another day to remember that Jesus Christ died for you. And a Muslim was like, you know, that was how conversation now started on what Christianity is all about, who Jesus Christ is, and so on and so forth. And as we progress, I discovered that many people I interact with that are atheists. They don't even believe that God exists. You'll be shocked how many people are in this country that think like that. So you get an avenue, and use that as an avenue to start up conversations with people who otherwise would not have been able to speak to. And also, if you do not live a good enough life, you won't be able to have conversations like that. So it's important that if you've not started, it's also important that you should now start to intentionally live a life worthy of revelation. And when they see the change, people tend to want to ask questions. Anybody else? Before we move on. Okay, so we're going to do some brief questions, discussions, and about a specific scenario. So we have the first scenario. Let's say a brother or sister is got two job offers. One pays 50,000 naira, but closes early enough for them to meet up with the Bible service. The other pays 300,000 naira and does not give chance to even attend Sunday service. What will be the thought process as to deciding how to pick and which one to pick? Anybody? 50 and 300. Anybody? So now, is there a thought process? You are just going to 300. Okay, let's do. Okay. Yeah, let's give up. You only come 2 times. 2 Sundays a week.
2 Sundays a week.
Yeah. So a month, sorry, a month, 2 Sundays a month. But Paul, let's say all yours. And no weekly activities.
Good evening, brethren.
Good evening, brother.
My brother, that money when you cost, it don't really follow. I mean, the differences between 50,000 and 300,000 is really outrageous. I mean, maybe if you want to reconsider such a question, we want to probably bring it back down to, let's say, 1,500. I mean, some people would still want to put a lot of things into consideration.
Okay, so let's just leave the question the way it is and answer it the way you think you do.
Okay, right. Now, personally,
yeah,
I would first of all consider what the job role is all about.
Okay.
That said, will, foster my own decision at the end of the day.
Okay.
One, if the role of 50,000 naira would not add to my growth, either personally, I wouldn't want to be somewhere.
You get the same thing from both jobs. You are doing the same amount of work, you get the same thing.
The same job.
Yes, everything.
Yeah. 50,000, 300,000.
The only difference is the time you have for God and the amount you are paying.
Cool. Still on me. 50,000, the same role, the same maybe I've gotten to a certain level where I shouldn't earn 50,000.
Not maybe anything.
Now, in that case, I'm undervaluing myself.
No, you are putting something else. Leave all these other things aside.
Okay, just the money.
Just the money and the time. Finish.
But you said we should have to consider some things.
No, if that is the only, it is a good role. It is everything you have.
But I will go for the 300,000.
You go for the 300,000. So what's the thought process behind it? Why?
Okay, the process is.
Yeah, is it because why are you going for 300,000?
Yes. Now, we need to also consider the standard of living.
Is it because the money is higher?
The money is high. It's too much. You can't compare 50,000, 300,000.
Okay. Okay.
No, I will go Sundays.
No, it's not.
No problem. Okay, I know most of us will pick 300,000. So who will pick 50,000? I want to hear your thoughts. Calm down now. Don't answer for them. Don't influence anybody. Alright, ma. So I want to hear your thought process why you pick the amount you pick.
Okay, I actually know someone that turned an offer that will have changed the generation to probably 3 of the generation, but he told me that because the person he looked at it and then he was like, no, you will not be coming to church. So there were so many things involved in it. So he said he cannot. Not like the job was not good though. It was a very good, got the job at the Shell also. You have to be working from one seat to another. So you couldn't even meet up with church. I said, even on Sundays, you have to turn it down so that you can be able to be in church. There are some people like that have genuine love for God. As in, they don't want anything to even come in between them and God. No, first of all, if you can even sleep,
Which one will you choose?
I will choose 50,000.
Why?
Because with that, there are sometimes we come here and then you get some knowledge. There are some knowledge that you get that we even use to do that work more better, that your job more better. Do you understand? And secondly, without the help of God, you can just sit and then you will not wake up. The 300,000 job will be the other person will take it, and the life goes on. But this one, there's kind of when you are closer to God, when you are closer to God, there's this kind of a bond, this kind of a relationship that you have with God. There are some things that are supposed to come, then there are some people to come your way, and then you say, no, but when you are not close to God, you are not coming to church, and it doesn't.
Thank you. Does anybody have 50K? Will anybody take the 50K over the 300? Anybody else?
Because of more.
Let's give Godzi. Okay.
Hola.
Give everyone
Same thing.
honestly speaking,
Yeah.
picking the 50K option would be smarter for
Wow.
me personally.
Okay.
In the sense that, first off, I am getting money from a job and I'm also getting the advantage of being able to worship. I know that may not seem like a lot because of the gap in money, but if I'm earning 300,000 naira in a month, yes, I might be enjoying that money. But knowing fully well that I am coming to church twice in a month is something that, with the way I am, I'm not sure that's going to be okay. It doesn't make sense to be earning that much and not to be able to serve in the church of God, no matter the amount of money. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Are you, is it 300K when you want to defend or 50K? Okay, so let's wait. 50K. Anybody that will take 50K? Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, why I feel I will take the 50K over the 300K, because I feel that along the line, if you are given the chance to worship God by choosing the 50K, God might find opportunities to bless you along the line, and in some cases, He might even provide more opportunities for you for choosing the 50K and having time for Him in worshiping. That's my reason.
Okay. So let's rest this for a while. We'll stop and let's see some other things and because of time. Yeah. Hmm? Precious. But we'll have another question. Let's leave this. So let's quickly round it up and we'll say what happened. So we have 50K, 300K, and we have, based on the assumption that 50K is just enough for you to get by, right? But 300K gives you more options as far as financial, financial options. There's this statement I like to say, I use it a lot, is that being a Christian is simple. Good use of the word, it's simple. Like there are clear paths, straightforward, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. They're different. Something is simple, okay, raise this up, raise this up. But this one is not easy to do. This is easy to do. It's simple instruction, raise it up, it's easy to do. This is also a simple instruction, but it's a lot harder. When it comes to how we should live our lives as Christians, it is different from what the world sees, from how the world thinks, and how every other person else thinks that life should be. Right? It's oblivious, right? It's oblivious how you can see people like let's say Abraham, for example, when having a contention with his younger brother Lot, now ask him, oh yeah, see, you don't want us to fight, choose your own. Before me, I'm not going to one. I will say, I was okay. I would have rather said, okay, let me take this one, you take this one, rest. You understand? But he said, choose your own first. But what did he do? He chose the greener one, where was better in his own mind. Abraham was where was worse seemingly. Who lost his wife and his entire properties, and who became one of the great grandfathers of Jesus Christ.